I think that Māori people are very fortunate in that we are here in Aotearoa is that we have te tiriti. Most other Indigenous cultures around the world look at us like, wow, you guys have a treaty. And they kind of look at us like, wow, this is great. But what the masses don't understand is that that treaty was never made to actually benefit us, you know, and we've been fighting for 250 years for these little minuscule rights and things. And although we might be advanced in some ways in comparison to other cultures and stuff, we are not the be all and the end all. We're not the trophy case. We're not the, you know, the fucking ranking of the rankings. Like, we're not it. We're still working through this. But that's what's beautiful about our nation is that we're all kind of, well, majority of us are working together and we are on the journey, on the Haidinga together, you know. And
it's definitely in a better trajectory. You know, you go back 50 years, you go back 50 years, you go back 50 years. It's all getting better. Like, just in every way, education, homes. I'm also from, I've got American Indian blood in me. And so I go back to Halifax. And so that's where, like, they first greeted the Pilgrims. So Thanksgiving and those sorts of things, that's also my heritage. And you look at the comparisons of the Native American Indians in comparison to the Māori, and it's like we probably are more advanced and better off than them, but it's not the same. So it's definitely not the same kettle of fish, you know?
Well, we're a very young country compared to a lot of those other countries who have been colonised over millennia. Yeah.
Where's your family hail from? Where do you identify sort of cultural connections, Alvisa?
My mum's from the Philippines and all her family are still over there, so I've never met any of my mum's family. Never been to the Philippines. I was meant to go over COVID, but COVID happened and so I ended up spending that money travelling New Zealand and seeing more of this country. So unfortunately I haven't been to the Philippines and met my mum's family, but through learning more about Māori culture, it's inspired me to learn what is my whakapapa. I've already talked about this on the show before, but I think it's been really great for me to, and my son is Dutch, Māori, Filipino, Irish, but because we're in Aotearoa, New Zealand, I would like him to learn to have a really strong connection with his whenua and pass down the knowledge from my husband's side of the whānau so that he understands where they're all from, you know.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. State houses lined along the tracks, fat mansions stacked upon the banks, and MSL's drugs from the back of a van. Another dollar, another day, and we just wanna play to nobody that's gonna give a good goddamn. Here we are, la-di-day, this ain't no holiday, we live in limbo land. You gotta hold on to your dreams, carry your own flag when you live in limbo land. Frustration kicks in a town like this. The poor stay poor and the rich get rich. The factory fence is tagged with fuck the man. And culture sucks itself away, but we just wanna play to nobody that's gonna give a good goddamn. Here we are, la-di-day, this ain't no holiday when you live in limbo land. You gotta hold on to your dreams, carry your own flag when you live in limbo land. Yeah.
Goes like this.
To find everything was okay. No riots on the streets. No black man was beat up by police. And suddenly it felt good to be part of the neighborhood where everybody understood that everything could actually be okay. There one fine day, there one fine day, when everything was okay. For one moment, not a single child was sold out on the streets. And for one seconds, no president thrived in dissonance. And suddenly it felt good, this brotherhood, this sisterhood, where everybody understood life's not a given, life is a gift. That one fine day, that one fine day, when everything was okay. This is where you can sing from home, goes like this. Nah, nah, nah. Na 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 na. But a little bit louder, we can't hear you. Na 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 na. Yeah, pretty good. And suddenly it felt good to be part of a world that could see the potential in his hands. This could be the day. This could be the day. That one fine day, that one fine day, when everything was okay. We ain't going out like that. We ain't going out like that. We ain't going out. We ain't going out like that. We ain't going out like that. We ain't going out. We ain't going out like that. We ain't going out like that. We ain't going out. We ain't going out like that. We ain't going out like that.
I would say I would be in favour of it if, at a later stage, give it, say, I don't know, how long does it take our government to do anything? In 50 years' time, when we have
250 years?
Yeah.
when we have politics taught, so if we were able to study politics, which seems to not be a government push, so that all our tamariki, and including myself, never grew up studying what governments around the world actually do, how they operate, and how we as citizens can implement and influence things. Until that happens, I feel like we need an older, more mature, and I'm saying it's only 2 years, but at least a deeper understanding. You've experienced more between 16 to 18 than you did maybe between 14 and 16. Definitely. Because you're becoming an adult, you're sneaking out, going to town, so you're learning a bit more about adulthood. You're maybe getting involved in more discussions. You're going out to balls, sort of formal evenings. And you're sort of at the age where you can now travel on sporting events and do lots of cool stuff at the school age.
Between 16 and 18.
Between 16 and 18.
Okay.
So there's a lot of like life learning in there. I feel like the current state we're in Aotearoa is that no one at that age knows what they're doing. And it would literally become a popularity, who looks nicest,
How's that any different to like adults voting?
I would say that maybe by the time you're 18, you've lived through a bit more of a government. Maybe you've had a job, a bit more work experience. You understand pay, superannuation, pay equity and pay rises. You understand how that works with minimum wage and changing. You at least have a bit more experience in the adult world to start having a say. But again, I'm not saying that I'm not saying I think it's the worst idea ever. I think if you had a year 7 political studies, and then maybe in year 9 there's a political unit, and then everyone has to do NCA level 1 with, just...
That would be incredible.
They need literacy and numeracy. They should also have, like, I don't know, nationality or patriotism course where you learn about a government, how it works and what we currently have here, and maybe you learn about the opposition. You have to study what your parents don't support as an activity. And that way I feel like you'd be more informed as you go. Bring it to 16 because we now know a bit more. There we go. Yep. Contentious statement laid out.
The amount of people that I do know, even my age still, who vote Labour or National because that's...
Loyalists.
Yeah, loyalists because that's what their families always did. We're Labour supporters. We're National supporters. Yep. Don't actually do the research. Don't give a shit. But then also the likes of like small policies and snippets that they hear coming out on social media because people don't watch the news anymore, So, and they're not.
Or they don't
believe
in
the. They don't. They don't trust the media anymore. So, I kind of get it, but I do think like our youth, they're our future, and I do agree with you, Fabian. Like, you're right. Like, we should be teaching them political studies in year 7 and year 9 and year, NCA level 1 and all those sorts of things. Like, this is what makes me mad about our education system is that we're still teaching the same way we were 150 years ago. And that's not relevant to today's society. Like,
I'll push back on that a little bit. It's not entirely relevant.
Yeah.
There we go. Cool.
I do get your point about having a bit of life experience, but I also, the stats are that people don't actually start voting until they're in their 20s anyway. But I think that if you start paying taxes at 16 and you are in a vulnerable position of being exploited, I was when I first started working at 14, not saying that I should have been able to vote at 14, but if I had been paid what I was being paid at 14, at 16, I probably would have been more, and was able to vote, I probably would have been more motivated to learn about policies and learn more about how I could use my vote to change policies and the system and stuff. And I just feel like I think we undervalue and underestimate the capacity of young people. Like you said earlier, something's a bit buzzy.
That's my phone. My apologies.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, I suppose turn the data off. It cuts into the
I have a couple of comments that I'd love to throw into this because apparently some of them are relevant. Is that the top one there?
Absolutely. Let's
Taylor? Go. Thank you, Teo Wolf Stormhawk. Jeez, come on. Teo Wolf says, make it a shirt. That's probably relevant to something earlier. Let's just pretend it's relevant. Hey, well done, Teo Hawk. Leonardo Gabato Magri, I miss you all. Red love heart.
Oh, red love heart to you too.
Thank you, Leo. From Matt Cook. He listens a lot, comments a lot, Matt Cook. Love Matt. Highbrow stuff. Lol. Love the cake race. Thank you, Matt. That's,
you're welcome.
Very good, very good. We have, I am into ASMR. Thanks, Alvisa. : close bracket. It's a smiley face, I think.
Oh, yay.
Matt Cook, I'm not from New Zealand, but if you can work and be forced to pay tax at 16, then why shouldn't you be able to have a say?
Thank you.
We're going to hold that, Matt
Thank
Cook.
you.
All right, lovely point.
Yeah, and you have access, 16-year-olds have access to so much more information. When I was standing for regional council, the first time when I did get in, this time I didn't get in, an older man, like in his 80s probably, came up to me after a panel event where us candidates would come together and discuss different issues and why we believe in certain things. And he said to me, I believe that young people these days are so much more intelligent than we ever were at their age. And I was like, thank you for expressing that and identifying that generations are different now to what they were before. They had different priorities in life. They had different opportunities in life. And young people today have access to these bloody encyclopedias in their hands. I think there is a good point around media and political education. There needs to be a way faster integration of that type of education in our systems. Because I have come across, I was an environmental educator, so I took kids snorkeling and connecting them with nature and stuff, and that was my thing.
Beautiful.
As an educator, and it was very rewarding. But now I'm in the policy side of things, where I'm using my experiences and my knowledge to help influence policy and also help connect the wider communities with their indigenous species and things like that. Can
I throw a spanner in there? So if you're paying taxes, you should be able to vote, etc., etc. Could we make, I don't know, I say it as if I understand anything to do with politics. If you are 16 and employed working 0.3 FTE or something, you're working minimum of, 10 hours a week, and you have an ID number and you're paying taxes, is that like, oh yes, you are mature enough at 16, you are a part of this part of this economy, should that make you eligible if you are able to be employed, or are we then discriminating against people that live in communities where there's not employment easily available for kids? Maybe I'm putting myself in a rabbit hole.
I'm a man of distinction, impossible exception. Slicked hair, pea green suit of immaculate perfection. Diamonds on my fingers and crystal in my nose. Chiseled chin, eyes so blue they could cut right through your throat, through your throat. She's a lady of impeccable demands, exquisite taste and surgical command. When she sets her sights on something, she can see the whole plan. She just can't be satisfied till she has it in her hand, in her hand. And when she calls, tells me what she wants, I slip my revolver deep inside my coat. What baby wants, baby gets, and I'm the man for it. What baby wants, baby gets, and I'm the man for it. She has papas across the city. We live a lifestyle to match. I drive an opal black Mercedes Benz with baby in the back. Antiques, art collections, money in the Caribbean. You can say that baby has insatiable ambition. And when she calls, tells me what she wants, I slip my revolver deep inside my coat. What baby wants, baby gets, and I'm the man for it. What baby wants, baby gets, and I'm the man for it. I'm here, and baby wants phone calls at night, tailgating, missing pets, intimidation, extortion, photos to your work. Doesn't really matter who gets hurt. So step right out the way. 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 What baby wants, baby gets. And I'm the man for it. What baby wants, baby gets. And I'm the man for it. What baby wants, baby gets. And I'm the man for it. What baby wants, baby gets. And I'm the man for it.
I feel like the government... Ooh, I'm going to say something contentious. You ready?
Let's go.
I feel like the Ministry of Education is full of people that are feeling very guilty about the way they've run things for a long time. And so there's a blanket thing of everyone has been wrong for so long and we need to do this without observing everyone and going, okay, this is working, this person's doing this really well, this person... And then they balance something. So instead, you talked about leaving education, Maddie, before, and I retired. I say
yes.
I retired earlier this year, and it's been so nice to be in a place where the government or my employers or the background is not telling me every single year to professional development, you are a racist, you are failing your students, you are this, you are that. In February of this year, I was told explicitly, you are a white supremacist working in a white supremacist society. That's a quote.
What's that from? Who's that from?
So it was a professional development day, and it was
professional development.
And what was her name? A lady in Auckland who was running a thing about and basically it was everything you've tried, every language game you've played in class, every time you've learnt a new phrase, every time you've incorporated today or stories or a rubric or an intention in it's not enough. You are a white supremacist, and the only way you can get to being in the not white supremacist bracket was 100% of your life completely dedicated to this change at home, dreaming, full integration today, full integration in the classroom, and 100%, and it was just very, very strict. And basically everyone in the room just thought, wait, everything we've done is nothing? And it was really disheartening.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I feel disheartened for you.
And I know people that have resigned that very day, straight after. It was just so upsetting to be told, blanket, you are a white supremacist.
I don't agree with that.
That's very personal as well. Like you, all of you, are white supremacists.
Dr.
But
Ann
when
Milne,
you've been following the framework that they've put in place for you to adhere to.
And again, I understand professional development and things change and things update, but an update to say that everything before in history is wrong and that you are a failure, again, without that understanding of who you're actually talking to.
Exactly.
Because again, I've
had some shit teachers and I've had some great teachers. And especially while I've been studying and on placement here in Whitianga, I've met some incredible educators.
Gabe's going to start a groove in the bass.
Okay. Oh, not on the spot, eh?
Yeah.
Outside, I wander around. I feel the energy arriving in this space. I look around, I'm looking at everyone's face. Different values, different places, different lives that they've seen. some places I only dream. Look at the islands, beautiful thing, with the palm trees when they sing. Different culture from my own, but when I'm there they make me feel at home. Look at their faces, same color as mine, but they're from a different time. I know where I wanna be. That's right there by the sea. Different cultures open up. Different cultures open up. Different cultures give what we need. So everybody come and feed. To different types of music, it begins to glisten. It teaches you a lesson. It gives you what you need. Oh, you got to feed. You feel the vibe. You feel alive. You got cultures all across the sound. You know that inside you will be found. You'll find a way to vibe with them, because their culture is the opening, the opening. And it don't matter if you're black or white. No, it don't matter if you're black or white, yeah. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sitting right here, cultures of overshore. Everybody ain't the same, but we've got connection within our brain to play the music on the bass, on the guitar. Got the beat, oh, his fingers bizarre. And then I sing all the lyrics I find. Culture running right through our mind. It don't matter if you're black or white. It don't matter if it rains at night. It don't matter if the young is alive. That's right, Altbays. What a surprise. Surprise. And Mr. Taylor makes number 5.
So today in Thames there was a ram raid at about 2 in the morning.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
5 vehicles driving through Goldfield Shopping Centre, smashed through the doors, smashed through shops, smashed through everything in the middle, and then smashed out the other side. So many businesses that now couldn't open today. I don't know if they're opening tomorrow. I have no information about that. But just hugely disappointing. And, you know, the event happened, and immediately on social media, you can imagine the absolute shitstorm of information and news and emotions of people that felt genuinely aggrieved, people that just felt angry, people that just wanted to make a laugh and have a joke out of it, like they probably wanted some KFC or they probably wanted some McDonald's, haha, lol, emoji faces, etc.
Which is a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
Sure. There was all these things happening, and the genuine message was, you know, lock them up in prison, put them on an island, put them and their parents in a boiler, whatever. There was all sorts of messages out there. And I thought, stuff this, I want to be positive. And so I called out a message going, it's really disappointing when this sort of things happen in the community. This relates to your not wanting to crush the mana type thing.
Yeah.
And I simply went, there's a lot of emotion and passion online. I'd love it now if we could turn that passion into something really productive, learn a new skill, make balloon animals, and go down to the park and entertain the kids. Spend more time with your own kids and your kids' friends, so that at grassroots level, you're putting that passion into an action, and actually making a difference. And I said that, and I was all on my high horse. I have a little podium with a microphone, and I said it, and then I didn't mention it again. And I got a few messages from people saying, thank you so much for saying something that was positive, giving people an action other than just getting angry online.
Yeah.
So I wanted to put that out there.
Absolutely.
How should we treat things like this when they happen in our community?
Well, I don't know if you saw on our local community page today, apparently last night at the playground, a young girl was
beaten up or something.
Beaten up and robbed by some 15-year-old boys who were staying here over the holidays. So, they're trying to reflect on Whitianga being an unsafe place. It's not just Whitianga, it's everywhere. This happens everywhere, unfortunately. What are we doing to help our tamariki and our youth?
Keep them safe.
I was watching this feed today and I'm seeing people going, what is the girl doing at the playground at 11 o'clock at night? How do you know she hasn't finished work at the restaurant across the road? It doesn't matter. Any person, female, male, whatever you identify as, should be safe to walk home at whatever time it is.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be getting picked up. And again, people are out there, just keyboard warriors. Like, why is it necessary? Why do people feel like it's necessary to put their shit out there like it matters? Like, go get a hobby, do something positive for our community, just chill. Like, stop calling judgment.
I used to be a punk rocker. I loved punk. I had Black Flag, Sex Pistols, all of the rotten stuff. It was great. But I think my biggest influence was when my mother got me up to sing Purple Rain.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, for the first time. I always
Do it now.
loved it.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, hell.
I love Prince, man. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I've always loved Prince, and watching the movie Purple Rain really opened up new doors for me. So when we were at the Great Western Steakhouse in New Lynn, you're talking about your age, bro. We're going back quite a bit. And I ended up working there, actually, but, that's another story. There was a karaoke there, and the lady came over with the song list and looked at Mum and said, you look like a beautiful wahine that would be able to sing all of these songs. And Mum went, oh, hell no, give it to him. And I went, well, no, I don't sing. And she goes, you bloody sing now. Look for a song.
Because the meals are real expensive. You sing, boy, you sing all night. Give them what they want.
Yeah, but not yet, Mum. Wait until I finish my steak.
Don't stop singing until you see the car at the front.
Guys. So I opened up the book, and the first song I saw was Purple Rain. And I thought, hey, fuck it. Yeah, okay. This is for you, Mum. Hey, you want me to get up and sing, so I'm going to get up and sing this for you. And I got up there and sung Purple Rain, and the lady that was running the karaoke looked at me and went, what the fuck? And I went, oh. And she goes, do you sing? Where do you sing? I said, oh, in my bathroom. It was the first time I'd ever got up and sung in front of people. My mother was one of the biggest influences when it came to my singing, my wanting to be up there and performing. So I think Prince. Yeah.
I study through Te Wānanga Orokawa.
One more time.
Te Wānanga Orokawa.
Cool.
They are incredible, very supportive and everything, but what I'm finding is I have lost a lot of my passion in the last couple of years working within the mainstream framework of teaching and trying to uphold the mana of my tauranga Māori and supporting the tamariki that I do work with and stuff. So my kids actually go to a wharekura now, and that's incredible for them. They're still transitioning. We've been there 18 months. But it's hard work, like working under this framework that's not actually designed for our people to succeed, and you're still trying to tick these boxes and adhere to the needs and the wants of your whole community and stuff, and it is a lot of weight to bear on you, but I'm just trying to work through that as best I can to finish this degree And because where I want to ideally work is in the mainstream schooling system. I'm a mainstream kid, and majority of our tamariki Māori are in the mainstream education system. So that's where we're probably needed the most. So just trying to, work with my networks and people that I have, like Altbays has been coming along to the Puna for a few months now, which is awesome, like making these connections within our community to build and uphold one another and just keep on keeping on. And
are there experts from around the world? Because you're bilingual, really, in New Zealand, we're talking today Māori and English, probably not sign language as much?
Not as much yet, but, that is, so Te Reo Māori and English are actually they're codependent on one another. What is it called? So there's actually only two technical official languages of New Zealand, sign language, and then there's Te Reo Māori and English.
And they're de facto.
And they are they're de facto, that's the words, thank you, side by side. But, that's another skill I want to add to my kete as well, the sign language, because that's not adhered to enough.
Is there a sign language for Māori, or would it be like New Zealand sign language general?
There is, as far as I'm aware, there is some sort of kind of dialect, like a mita of Te Reo Māori sign language. Obviously, there's some kupu and Māori and sign language that don't gel. So, again, I don't know enough about that. I know my basics and my sign, but again, that's more stuff to put into my kete. And that's, that's the kind of expectations that people have on you. Like, I'm not the Māoriest Māori of all the Māoris. I'm just trying to, I'm just trying to do what I can do and share what I can with the masses.
Just want to make a call out here. Can we please have the Māoriest Māori of the Māoris please come to the show and with Maddie and us, and we'll have a great chat together.
Yeah.
I mean, because what I was also sorry.
Never mind. I was going to say, would that be like someone like Tamaiti? I don't know.
I was just going to say, are you going to say Tamaiti?
Yeah.
Static noises on the radio, the static noises coming from every dial, all the chatter, all the voices, good God, they wanna destroy you and tear you apart. You're not good enough, you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you're ugly, you're not good enough, you're not good enough. Think you call yourself a woman? Turn it off, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off. She came from France for a man she wanted. She came from France cause she wanted just to be with him. So handsome, so beautiful. These fucking artists will leave you when you're pregnant. Turn it off, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off. Turn it off, turn it off. Ah, they'll let you down. They'll let you down every goddamn time. Ah, and leave you dry every goddamn time. Every goddamn time. She smokes a cigarette in her bedroom. Little Lucas sleeping in the next room. On an easel, she paints a woman. So handsome, God, so beautiful. They told her everything she didn't want to hear while the baby was growing inside her. A ticking time bomb onto her breast. A ticking time bomb set to kill them both. Turn it off, turn it off. Turn it off, turn it off. Ah, they'll let you down. They'll let you down every goddamn time. Ah, and leave you dry every goddamn time. Every goddamn time. I talk to her on the telephone while she chooses her colors to paint them. So handsome, so beautiful. She probably thinks that I will let her down. And the crowd goes wild.